Welcome to this introductory course of Delightex Edu for students. When you digit delightex.com on your browser, you will go to Get Edu, then log in and insert your username and the password provided by your teachers. Then you have to click Login and you will be logged in your Delightex Edu student page. Each of you we'll have two sections in this page. There are two sections in this page, the gallery and the classes. In the gallery, you will see all the projects done by everyone in the world, and you feel free to explore everything you want. In the classes section, you'll have your EcoJob class, and then when you click it, you'll see your assignment and the playground. In your assignments, there is the EcoJog profile space you have chosen. When you click inside, you will be directed in this page that has all the instruction of the job. There is the Eco Business Model Canva, a sheet to complete, a white sheet to complete the Eco Business Model Canva, and other useful links. Here you will have all the languages. To explore this, you will have to click play and you will be inside your work, inside this work. When you go back, you will be directed here where you can edit the space. The advice is to not edit the space. Then here on the top left, you will see all the scenes. This is a scene, and you have the common space scene. This is a place where all the 10 EcoJobs profiles are drawn, and there are some advices to create your own jobs. To create your new job, you will have to go to New Scene and create a new scene. When you go back home, in the playground, you can create every project you want simply by going to Create Project. Then here you can choose some kind of scenes, 3D environment, 360 image, merge cube, or tour. We'll see only 3D environment. Here are some templates, but we choose to do a brand new project and white template, a blank template. In this template, you will see a blank space with only the camera. The camera is the most important element in the page. So to turn around, you simply have to keep click the left button of the mouse and then pan. And another advice is to use the mouse instead of trackpad. When you click on the camera, you can see some instruction of the camera. You can rotate it by clicking here and then simply pan by every circle. You can move it left to right, up to down, and front to back. And with this, you can drag to lift and to lift up or lift down. This is not available in the camera, but we'll see in other elements. The camera is the most important thing because it's the point of view of the player. When someone um, enter your project with the link, will see everything from the point of view of the camera. With the right click on camera and on all other elements, you can see the name, camera, the code, the speech, transform, the settings of the camera, and other mm, instruction. We'll see it later with other, we'll see them later with other elements. In the camera, if we left click and see and set camera, we can set up the camera movement as walk, fixed view, fixed position, fly, and orbit. To show you how it works, if you go down here, you will have the library, the upload, and the environment. In the library, there are a lot of elements you can insert in your scene. With upload, you can upload your own elements. You can upload images with these supported file formats. 3D models, you can build your own 3D models or download them from some websites. You can upload videos and sounds. And in the environment, you can edit the environment. For example, if I don't want the blank space anymore, but I want uh, a hill, I can go there and there are hills in the distance. In the effects, I can choose to set some effects as snow, lights, bubbles, rain, or leaves that falls. In the filters, I can simulate cloudy, a cloudy sky, a night scene, and some filter like black and white, or reddish, bluish. I can choose a floor image to upload and a background sound to upload from my computer. Just simply click and the window open and you will select your files. So now I'll go back to the blank space for now. And in the library, if I add an animal, for example, let's choose a big animal as an horse, and I put it in front of the camera. If I click play, I will see the horse in front of me. If I put the horse behind the camera, if I click play, I see nothing in front of me because the point of view of the camera is what is in front of you. But as we set up by default the camera with walk and the collision with walk, the collision on, and the movement speed as 3. If I click play and use the arrows, I can move forward, backwards, left, and right. Then, if I keep click the left hand mouse, the left button mouse, I can and drag and drop, I can pan and rotate. So if I rotate back to 180 degrees, I will see the horse. And I can move and the horse still here. If I go back, put the horse and we choose another thing, a cow here, and I rotate it. And let's choose an environment, for example, this one with the snow. And I set up the camera to fixed view and click play. I will not be able anymore to move the camera in any way with arrows, with nothing. So I will never see the cow. If I set up the camera as fixed position, I won't be able to move, but with the arrows, I can rotate the view. Now I'm doing with the arrows. So if I rotate back, I'll see the cow. If I rotate back again in the start position, I'll see the horse. Then the camera could be on walk and we see. On fly mode. On fly mode, if I click play, I can move as the walk, but if I look up and then move forward, I will lift. And now I see the scene from above. If I go back and look down, I can go back to the horse and the cow. And then I'll go back. And with the orbit, I'm quite orbiting in the scene. As you see, the camera is no more uh, parallel to the ground, but is a little bit way down. And I can see the scene from another perspective. And with pan, I cannot move, but with the arrows, I can rotate. So it rotates in an axis in the center. We'll go back to camera as walk and put the camera back in place. As I explained you, there is also this other element that is drag to scale. If I simply click this button and move the mouse up, I can do the elements bigger. If I move them down, move the mouse down, I can do the element smaller. So the elements as also other all the characters as also other elements instead of the camera. So the speech I can I can write everything I want and the earth will say hello. Will say what I write on the speech space. Then with the physics I can choose the physics, or we'll see it in a while. With transform I can set the scale, the position, and the rotation more precisely instead of with these two elements. With animation, I can choose some animation. As you see, if I click play, here nothing animates. If I click play, the horse will move the tail and its head. With animation, I can, for example, set run. Let's see, the horse is in another position, is running, and if I click play, it keeps running on its space. We'll see in a while how to move it. And then with the material, I can choose the color of the elements. Simply like this. I can also customize the color if I want. To set an animation of an element, I have to use the code. The code is really simple. We can use coblox, that is a kind of coding similar to Scratch with blocks, TypeScript, and Python. Coblox is the most simple way to use it. If I use code, I have to activate all elements that I want to use in code. So I left click on the element, click on code, and use in coblox. So now when I choose to use coblox, the default instruction is when play is clicked. So when I click play, something happens. For example, in this case, I have the horse, so I can. Now I have the animation of the horse on run, but if I use the action set animation of horse is the only element that I have. Cow is not here because it's not used in coblox to eat. So when I click play, it will change the animation from run, even if it's the default one that is in the with the one I choose in the code. So is eating. To keep move the horse, I can use the transform. So if I want to erase something, just simply drag and drop in the bin. And this, if I want, I can move the horse some meters, let's say 5 meters forward in 5 seconds. So I will erase the cow, so left click delete or backspace on the keyboard, and I will delete the cow. Now I'll rotate the horse to show you how it and put it here. So if I click play, the horse will move forward. As you see, I'm still with the camera, and the horse is moving. It did 5 meters and now stop. If I put 10 meters forward in 4 seconds, if I click play, and it's now here. So if I move the camera view on the left, I can see the horse. Then I can also use the backspace keyboard to erase the things in the. There is another way to move elements that is more controlled. In the special, there is there are these that are the paths. A circular path, a square path, or a straight path. If I want, I can use the straight path, for example, and I want to move the horse from here to there. Okay, so let's change the environment in something that is more viewable, for example, the green. Here you can see the direction of the line that is from left to right. But if I want to do it from right to left, simple left click, path, and flip direction. As you see, the arrows change the direction from right to left. Then I have to, and it's something really important to know, attach the horse to the path. So I can attach the horse to every little blue spot I see in the path. So I'll attach it here. So now the horse will move within the path. To do it, I have to use code blocks, yes. And as you see, the paths by default are used in code blocks. So are on. And then when I choose transform with this one, so the path name is path. If I rename it as path horse, I will see here that I will have the horse and path horse. So I have to choose not this one, move path horse one some meters forward or we can choose also backward, left, right, up and down, of course. I'll choose the second one. If I move the horse on path horse forward in let's say 8 seconds, if I click play, now you see the horse will move in the path and the path disappear when I click play. And now it stopped. And then I want to do this and then the set animation to neutral. So I want the horse to stop. So if I click play, it will move and then stops when it arrives in the at the end of the path. That's why the code runs line by line. So the first, the second, the third, and so on. So if I set the animation before the move, you will see there will be an error because it's set up as neutral and then moves, but moves as staying still, so it's not good. So keep in mind to use the code and to set the things line by line with a logical order. That's take us to another thing, another really important thing to set up. If I have more elements, so let's say an horse and I don't know, the old guy, then want to sit on the or no, yes, the guy that is sitting on the chair. So I can set up the animation to postures sit leg crossed. No, sit on chair. And then let's go there so I can close here and close here to have more space to work. And I want the old man to sit on the chair. To do it, I can simply attach the old man on the top of the chair. So now, when I move the chair, I will move the old guy too, and also with the horse. So let's say I want to move the horse, and the old guy will have to stand up from the armchair. So I go in co-block. I have to set the regular senior man to be usable in co-block. So I want to set the animation of regular senior man to neutral. So when I click play now, I will see the horse running, but the man stay sit until the horse stops, and then he stay up. But I want to do it at the same thing, so at the same time. So I can use in controls, I can use run parallel. So I put run parallel into, you see it has some space between an instruction and another. So if I want, I can move the horse and set the animation of the regular settlement to neutral. Now, if we see with play, the man stand up while the horse is still running. So they run parallel and do the same thing, the things at the same time. If I want, like this, with this on the wheel, I can add task and do uh, every time I can choose to run parallel all the action I want. If I have some more, I can simply remove. So maybe I want to do the other thing. The man, the setup animation is neutral, and I want him to sit and write, but I want the senior man to have a book. So I can go to library. I can use the search function to search for book, for example. So this book, I can attack it to the right hand or left hand of the man. So to the right hand of the man. I can use the book also in CoBlocks because also the book has some animation, closed, open, and open flat. So for example, I want to set the animation to sit on chair. Then I want to set animation of the book to open. So I want him to open the book. And then the regular senior man will start writing. I don't know if sit on red, sit on red. Yes, okay. So now if I click play, as you see, it's a little bit faster, this animation, but is reading the book. If I want, I can, with controls, wait. I can wait. For example, I want him to sit, wait for 0.5 seconds, then set the animation to book to open, and he starts reading. So if I click play now, the book will open not so fast. If I set this to 2 seconds, it's better. We'll see better. It stays and then open the book and starts reading. Then there are there are a lot with the transform. You can manage the transition, the rotation, and the scale of the elements. With the action, there are generic action. You can also change the colors or maybe after, so say 0.5, and then after you read the book for some seconds, let's say 4, The regular senior man says, "Hi, oh, nice book." So when I click play, the horse is still running. And after 4 seconds, it says, "Nice book." Or maybe we don't want him to say it, but to think. And to think for some seconds. So we'll erase this for 2 seconds. So we'll see the balloon with the, oh, sorry, I was wrong. The series, the man. Nice book with the little dots. And then it disappears. So with the event, we can set up some event. For example, when something when something happen, yes, some other things happen. For example, uh, we want to move the horse only when we press some key on the keyboard. For example, A. So when A is pressed, I'll set all the instruction inside this space. So now, if we see, the horse is running, but we can do it better. So set animation of the horse to it. And then when A is pressed, we set the animation of the horse to run. And then you run for 8 seconds, or let's say to trot, not to run. And then it stops. So when I click play, the horse is eating. And if I press A on the keyboard, the horse start running, start trotting, sorry, until it stops. Mm. Then, so the events are the event. So when something is done, something happen. We can also set the thing to when it's clicked. It's important, for example, to set the door from open to close. You can find some instruction of the doors in the common space scene on your class, on your EcoJob class. So, for example, I don't know, we can put the motorbike side, that is a red motorbike. So when it's clicked, for example, we can set the color of course, we have to use it in CoBlocks, of the scooter to blue. So when I click play, and scooter is clicked, of course. So if I go to scooter, I can click it now because it's down here. So I can add the task and put the scooter inside. And also add a task and put everything here inside. And I can put it here just to do it better. So this is the horse, this is the senior man, and this is the scooter. So when I click play, as you see, the pointer of the mouse changed to the arrow to an end. And if I click, it changed the color to blue. And then nothing happens anymore. If I want to do it forever, I can add the control and put inside the when the forever. So when scooter is clicked, every time scooter is clicked, it will change color to purple. It's not the really right. Set the color of the scooter to. I cannot choose random color. Pink, but when I click is always pink because forever it will be always pink. So another thing, important thing to do is in the function. Oh no, you cannot set the. So the function, the data is for the variables. So for example, I can uh, if I want to open and close the door, so I can in the library create with the building a wall. So now let's erase the thing we don't want anymore. I'll show you the door, the path to. The door, the walls have also these arrows where you can improve the width, the thickness, and the height of the wall. With the right click on the material, you can also choose the texture or the color of the wall. For example, blue wall, a blue brick wall, or if we want a wall that is as a chess or some wooden wall. And then the search, okay, use a door. If I put a door inside the wall, it will have a space. So if I, with the animation, open the door, I can see through that. So set up the wall to closed. And now, as you see, I erase everything and see, can't find because it can't find the item. So now I can erase everything. I want to use the door inco block. And I want to add when door is clicked, it stays, it set animation of the door to open. So if I click play, set animation to open, but it's not closed anymore. It can't close anymore. If I want to close the door when I open it, with the data, I can set a variable. We can name the variable as we want. My advice is to name it as for example, door animation, because with this we understand that is this door animation to 1 to 0. Sorry. So when it's closed, it's 0 or closed. And then we set the animation to open and change door animation. Okay, yes, to 0. So we use 0 and 1. Okay, now let's see. Door animation 2, yes. Use true and false. So to false. We set the variable door animation to false. And when we open it, we set it to true. When door is clicked, set animation to open and true. So now it works at the same. So then we'll see inside, we'll set an if. So we'll set an if or an if else, better. And say that if door animation here, but here is equal to false, this happens. So if door animation is false, set animation of door is to open, so we'll open the door. And the variable door animation become true. Else, so in the other case is not false. So if it's true, we set animation of the door to closed and set the variable in data door animation to false. So if I click play, if I click it's open, and if I click back, closed. Here I can walk through the door. Because I have the collision by default, I have the collision turned on. I cannot pass through the walls or through things. So I cannot do anything from here. I'm stuck. If I want, for example, I want to create a phantom, I can avoid collision, and then I can pass through the wall. And set back up. I can increase the movement speed, for example, to 10, and now is a lot faster, but maybe it's still too fast. For example, 5 or 3 as the default is quite good. I can also change it by ear. With the operators, I can do all the math operation I want. For example, plus, minus, multiplication, division, and or I can choose randoms. I can modify the items and the variables as we saw. And I think that can be all for now. If you have some question, ask them to your teacher that will contact me and I'll answer to all your doubts. Remembering that mm, you have to enjoy doing the profile, and the most important thing is that you enjoy creating whatever you want. You can, as I said, on the playground, you can do every project you want, you have free space, so it's not a problem. You can erase your project if you do something and you want. You can click here and click here on the three dots and rename the project, duplicate it, or delete forever. Delete forever, it deletes the in the assignment. You can copy to the playground. I advise you to do this, to copy this on to the playground, and then go. If you go to the playground, you can work in it without doing messes on your own assignment. So the first thing, the best thing is to copy it to the playground and then uh, start doing all the thing you want here. You can move everything. You can explore the code, for example. Here you can see a lot of code, lot of things because there are a lot of scenes all at the same time. These are all doors, so if you want, you can just select them and with right click copy and paste where you need it because or you can create them by your own with no problem at all. And I think that's all. Have fun using the Delightex Edu. Goodbye.